everyone, welcome to another episode of the ReEvolve Media Revolution podcast, where we interview hip-hop artists from across Canada and talk about the various shifts in life that led them to where they are today and try and get a better understanding of how to shift our own lives. My name is Jordan Lewis, and this episode features Edmonton, Alberta artist Viconi. One of the things I love about interviewing people in hip-hop is that their entire journey with music typically spans a large portion of their lives. We talk about old and new and often reach topics that were mulled over heavily during an era of life but haven't been referenced since. We take a peek at scars we forgot were there, and we reminisce and respect the power of moments unique to the point of space and time at which they occurred. We look at these moments and we open up the possibility of interpretation, a chance to derive meaning for everyone it may be relevant to. A bit of a catch-22, but immediate use does not beget the benefit of information. One of the things Viconi mentions in this interview is how he got his foot in the door for creating his own visual content. A main driving factor was that he didn't want to go back to a dead-end job. He wanted to work for himself, and he wanted it to be relevant to his craft. A huge step forward, I know. This statement is preached a lot. But this is an example of finding benefits in losing things that don't serve you. Too many times we feel stuck or caught up in various elements of life, a job, a relationship, even a conversation. We know that it isn't for us. We know internally that we yearn for more. But those first moves away from whatever it is we don't find fulfilling are absolutely crucial to being the person that you want to be and reaching your true potential. It's almost a trap mindset we place ourselves in by overshadowing the benefit of progress with the fears and anxieties that come with change. Well, I'm here to tell you that you can do it. Whatever it is, you can do it. And if you don't think you can, you're probably right, so stop doing that. Decide how long you're going to feel bad about it, how much more damage you're willing to let it cause your life, and then do something about it. Maybe the things you need to stop or step away from are family related or otherwise can't entirely be dismissed. Well, step back. Do yourself a favor. Take a breath. Negativity is like a hot pan in the oven. The only thing is we haven't found out the perfect analogy for oven mitts yet. And that's still TBD as far as human intelligence goes. You can't handle negativity with your bare hands. What are you, crazy? Just as we have professional chefs with cuts and burns, even mental health professionals carry some of their work with them. You deserve to be satisfied. Set goals and don't forget that it takes steps to get anywhere, towards or away. And here we got Viconi. What is up, everybody? I'm here with Viconi of Viconi Visions. How you doing, homie?
Hello. How you guys doing? How's everybody? How you feeling?
Thank you for joining me today, bro.
Of course, man. Thanks for having me.
It's good to talk with you. So, as I was saying before we actually got on the record, I have heard of you before I even got a chance to speak with you, man. And yeah, I think that's pretty cool. You might not know how cool it is because apparently this is the first time you heard of somebody caring of you in that regard.
I mean, I'm just flattered. I didn't expect you to say that, so.
Oh, dude. Well, so where your work started, where your origins with hip hop start, is it with your video editing or does it go beyond that? Because my history with you, my beginnings with you start with Viconi Vision.
That's dope, man. That's cool. I've had a few people hit me up and say that they've heard of me due to my video stuff.
Isn't that crazy,
prior to
man?
finding out that I did music, yeah. It's cool.
Right? So you get that link so easily. Where did you start though, first and foremost? Like where in your current like day to day does your history start?
Music, man. Like for first and foremost, it's always gonna be music. Like that's why I do what I do at the end of the day. You know, growing up being a kid, hip hop was like my biggest, like my everything. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, music for sure. I'm an artist first. Like I'm a rapper first before anything else.
First. Who started you on rap?
Melodic, all that shit. Who started me?
Yeah. Who inspired you to get into the game?
That's tough, man. Because like,
wait, is this like are you trying to go back right now, or are you trying to think of like recent inspirations? Because I understand where it gets tough when you try and think of who originally inspired you, because there's a lot of history in that regard, especially with someone who's been in the game for a while.
yeah, I guess like if I had to go like back, it would have been like, you know, like Eminem, 50 Cent, like The Game, shit like that, like all the. Oh, sorry, can I cuss?
Oh, dude, cuss as much as you
Okay,
want.
my bad.
Cuss more even. Yeah, no, that's cool.
No, I just wasn't sure.
And when I ask, I don't mean who got you like into like rap, like hip hop in general. I mean like who got you inspired to like put out your own shit. Like who are you vibing off of when like Viconi originally released himself?
I would say still just everything I was listening to. Like there wasn't an actual person I met in real life that was like.
Dude, that's fair. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was probably still just based off of being a fan of music. It was never like there wasn't like anybody that like I met in person that was like, yo, you should do this shit. Like I just kind of just started doing it myself. I started writing first, and my funniest thing was when I first started like rapping like out loud. I didn't realize I was off beat, and I actually like had to like learn how to rap properly. But I always wrote so much lyrics right when I was like a kid, and then and then I went to.
How long do you think you rapped off beat before you realized it?
It was the first track I ever recorded professionally.
And you put it out off beat? Oh shit.
Yeah. Like I was like that was a minute ago now. Like that was probably 3 years ago now, maybe more. But like I always just like did like the little remixes in my bedroom, and like I started recording in my bedroom. But then I went to an actual studio one time thinking I was about to kill shit, and I was just like, what? Like something sounds off, and I didn't know what it was. And then finally my producer was like, bruh, you're off beat.
Oh shit.
And I was like, and I didn't like know what that meant at first, and it drove me crazy. I was like, what do you mean? I just did. I was like, what the fuck are you saying?
If you could describe what that means to me right now, how would you describe being offbeat? If you could, like, because I don't know what that means either. But I understand it. I understand it, but I don't know how to describe it.
Okay, a lot of rappers have this problem in the beginning. Like a lot of rappers, and that's the thing.
I understand that for sure.
So like, if like the best way to put it is like just not having rhythm. Like we are literally offbeat. The best way to put it is like you don't hear it in the beginning because you're a novice and you're just like you just attack the beat any type of way, but you don't focus on like the actual beat itself. You know, you're not in rhythm like with what's happening. Think of Blueface.
But are you feeling it?
You're feeling what you're saying for sure. I was intense, bro. I was intense. I was like, man, this shit's so hard. And a few people told me that like, yo, the lyrics are there, but you need to like. And then I made sure that would never happen again. So I just figured it out. I was like, okay, I just did some research like how to actually rap like with rhythm and shit. And it was after that one session in the actual studio, it never happened again.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You were saying before you went into an actual studio and put yourself out there and learned you were offbeat, you were doing it all yourself.
Yeah. I mean, like, I think I speak for a lot of people when you could just say, you know, shout out YouTube.
Oh, for sure, 100%.
You know what I mean? Like, just watching tutorials and stuff like that. Like, I went and downloaded Logic Pro 10. I bought like a laptop. You know, I had a little mic, a little acoustic shield. You know, I thought I was set. But then I didn't know how to mix properly or how to master properly, and I just don't have the patience. I didn't have the patience so to like sit there and like for real like learn this shit. And I didn't want to become Dr. Dre. I just wanted to get in there and start like having my stuff sound good right away. So I just found out where all the studios were and started asking questions about who's putting up the hottest records in the city and stuff.
Okay, that makes sense. So you were heavily focused kind of like on your main facets and letting other people maybe handle that other stuff in the backdrop. What are your main kind of like go-tos these days?
Like honestly, I'm probably one of the more like annoying clients an engineer can get. I try not to be.
No, sorry, I was gonna say you're a client and you're a business owner, so you know both sides of the scale.
No, exactly. Like so I get the whole specification thing for sure. Like whenever I take something to an engineer, I will definitely like dial in on it probably more than like the average person. And I don't mean to say that in like an egotistical way. I just usually when I get like my mix sent back to me, unless they just absolutely nail it, I usually write out like a little thing of instructions. Like at this part, I want this to kind of have this effect, or I want this to kind of sound like this, etc. And then usually whenever I get a song back, usually the first mix doesn't cut it, and I'll usually be like, yo, can you change this and this, and then we're good to go.
Let's talk about the people that you're working with that have been heavily involved in like working with you easily in that regard, because that's what we're trying to put the spotlight on in this interview as well, because it's so hard to find people who will do those revisions and be like, you know what, I'm listening to the artist, I'm providing you a service. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, man. You gotta like, the engineers don't get enough recognition, and like
they never can, man.
Oh man, it's crazy. It's crazy. But like 100%, I want to shout out NBF Entertainment and Atreus XO. So the head engineer at NBF, that's Christian Ari. That dude's my brother. I've known him for a minute. He's like, I went to one other studio one time, and that was the one where I was off beat, but the mix wasn't good anyway, so I never went back. But then I went to Christian Ari, and I basically owe that dude for like teaching me how to like I figured out how to rap on beat and stuff, but he's the one who taught me actually how to find like my voice and stuff, because he was so patient with me, and he knew I was green going into the booth, that it was like only my second time, and from there on I just kept going there and there and there.
Damn.
And he was like, this guy basically like he basically developed me as an artist, and was like, yo, this is what I think is your best sound, and you should keep, well, he didn't tell me what I should and shouldn't do. And then I went to Atreus.
Yeah.
I still go to NBF, but like Atreus is also amazing. Graham is he's a legend. He's got his audio engineer degree from Pixel Blue College or University in Edmonton, and he's wild, man. He can do some amazing things with sound. I usually go to him for my melodic stuff.
That's crazy. So you've got a couple producers for depending on what your type of project is.
Yeah, absolutely. Because certain engineers are better at nailing certain sounds, I find.
Oh, 100%, man. That's wild. That's crazy. So how long after you put in this... Actually, let's timestamp this. When was that first time that you put your music out to a studio and that you had that feedback that you were off beat? Just to timestamp it.
Oh, damn.
Was that like 5, 6, 2, 3 years ago?
I'd say I'm not 100%, so I would just say around 3 years ago, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's probably like what it would 3, maybe 4 years.
Yeah. And how's your style changed since you received that information? Was actually, here's a good question. Was that the hardest hitting information you've ever had to hear? Because I feel like hearing, especially if I was convinced I was on beat and then hearing someone tell you were off beat and then realizing, oh, fuck, I was off beat, that would be some pretty heavy hitting information. So was that like the hardest information of your career that changed shit? Or?
No, it was the greatest information I ever learned.
It's the greatest?
Oh, bro, it was the best, because I knew that there was something weird with my music. Like I noticed there was...
Why? How did you know?
I don't know. Like when you're a rapper and you're rapping off beat, it's like, that there's something about your music that's trash. You just like don't want to admit it.
Trash.
And you like you don't want to admit it, because like it could sound good still, but if it's off beat, something's not right. You just don't know what it is. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like if you're playing the piano, you might think it sounds dope, but if you're not an actual piano player, you could just be clinking different notes together, and it's like dun dun dun, and it just, you know what I mean? And then you think you're Mozart, but you're really just like looking like a nutcase. So like,
what a fucking trip.
Yeah.
So do you listen to that old stuff, and do you recognize what was off, or like?
No, I don't listen to any of that. But like, yes, I definitely recognize it. Like I said, it was just more so like me,
the difference,
just in my bedroom, just trying to learn how to like kind of use my rap voice more than anything. And then I took it to the studio one time, and like I said, it was one time, and
that's fucking.
And I
dope,
heard it was
bro.
not. Yeah, I heard it was offbeat, and I was like, "Okay, no, never again." And then I just figured it out, and that never happened again.
So you, first and foremost, are a vocalist.
Yeah, definitely.
When do you find the time to write, bro? Because I hear you're busy with other endeavors.
It definitely is. It definitely has changed now, like a lot. Before,
why has it changed now?
Honestly, because when I started out, like, I'm gonna be an artist. Like, I want to be a rapper. Like
you want to create.
Yeah, like I wanted to do that. Like I still do that. But the craziest thing is, the best way I can put it is, I think it was J. Cole who said something along the lines of like, like you need to he needs to like go through something to like be able to create more in terms of like in terms of like lyrics and stuff like that. So I feel like whenever I'm doing all my video stuff like you said, and like I got all my other endeavors going on, it's like I can't and like I just, and plus when things are going good, like really good, it's kind of harder for me to write music. I find like if I'm just on the move and I'm just making money and I'm just like doing videos for mad people, I'm just like it's I can write some lit shit like let's turn up type vibes, but it's hard to like sit there and just like focus on like what do I even write about half the time.
God damn.
So I'm almost thankful whenever something crazy comes my way. Whenever something bad happens, I'm almost kind of like, it like inspires me again to like sit my ass down and like write a bunch of music.
What the fuck?
Yeah. It's strange. Like there's definitely times still like if I'm in a really good mood, for sure I'll like sit down and write out like a bunch of bangers and stuff, but that's usually what they are. They're never usually a track where like it's like you could like feel something from it, because I'm kind of just like in a super dope mood, so I'm just trying to write some shit for people to wild out to, you know.
See, this is that gift and a curse type shit. It's because you know you want to give yourself the time to do it, but when you have the time to do it, you're not inspired, and you're most inspired when you don't have the time to do it.
It's so crazy. It's so nuts, because I've had people say to me, they're like, dude, like, are you sure you still want to do this shit? And I'm just like, yo, like, yeah, because there's like, that's exactly the thing. There will be some times where I feel like unmotivated as fuck, and I'm like, yo, I'm just doing my video shit right now. Like, I'm not even trying to do this music shit right now. And that's when it'll hit me. It'll literally be like 2 hours later that night. Like last night, for example, last night, out of nowhere, I just wrote a full song in like 30 minutes, just because I was just like, it just hit me. I just heard a beat and I'm like, yo, that's it.
You copped the beat? Where'd you find the beat?
Usually from my producers. Shout out this LP Productions. This specific one? Yeah, I just got a notification on YouTube. It was just like a random YouTube beat, and I was just like, "Hey, this is fire."
Sometimes that's crazy.
100%, and like, but yeah, and that's why I find that I still like need this to like, I don't know, like I still make music because I feel like I need to. Like if I don't, I don't know, it's like a therapy to me, right? So
yo, and I gotta say something in that regard. It's such a trip, because I forget that myself as well. Because creating is such a passion, and you don't understand how creating feels until you're actually in that element of creating. But then when you see what you kind of can get inspired by seeing other people creating as well.
Yeah, and like honestly, I've heard this before, and I'm gonna say it. There's gonna be a lot of people mad I say this, but like I think in a way COVID was kind of something that like I think might have been good for like artists, at least for the creative side. Not like saying that COVID's a good thing, but like because people get like isolated, I get that like a lot of people are getting depressed, and I'm not like putting those people down at all. But there's a lot of people that like, if you're stuck in this like headspace and you're mentally and physically stuck somewhere, the only thing a creative person can do over that time is eventually something beautiful is going to come out of that, I find.
And that's why I feel a lot of these people don't have that outlet. They have nothing else to turn to, and they don't even know to look for other people that have that outlet. And that's why what we're trying to do here is provide that shit. Yo, we're at the 20-minute mark. We'll take a quick little segment here, eh?
All right.
We're going to take a quick break and listen to Viconi's track titled No Effort, featuring Young Haas Kotu. Enjoy.
No effort, everything I do lit. Posted up with models, popping bottles up in Ruth Chris. No effort, I be on the next wave. I can see through fakes, kinda like my vision X-ray. No effort, whipping up the quick cash. Shorty brought a friend and you know she got a thick ass. No effort, bitch I do the utmost. Y'all committed suicide, the game is fucking cutthroat. Bitch I do the most and let go if we talking risk. You could never jump the moat, you would go ghost in your silent crib. I don't own a Rosa Rolly or got AP on my wrist. How ironic, because I could have you lady on my. This shit is fucking easy, I'm a monster, best believe me. And I'm only getting started, I'm a problem through weekly. My life jump off the page, bitch, I've been a renegade. You know I had to flip the script, I'm a menace to my grave. Viconi with the shit, I leave you muzzled. You can't hear a muffle, you in trouble. Claim you get the bag, you know I get the duffel. Backing up, I'm with the muzzle, leaving all your feathers ruffled. Out for Bravo, motherfuckers, VIC, here to crush you. No effort, everything I do lit. Posted up with models, popping bottles up at Ruth Chris. No effort, I be on the next wave. I can see through fakes, kinda like my vision X-ray. No effort, whipping up the quick cash. Shorty brought a friend and you know she got a thick ass. No effort, bitch, I do the utmost. Y'all committed suicide, the game is fucking cutthroat.
No effort, I'm what you wanna call pressure. Big stepper, what's clever, I'm just much better. Best ever, trendsetter, home wrecker, best dresser, money getter. I'm a problem, I'm a nuisance. I've been doing this ruthless, I've been going so stupid. Turn a castle into ruins. I'm the hardest with the music going hard. And with my shooting, hit the throttle with my unit. I ain't guilty till it's proven, no pressure. I'm the fucking gold man. Couldn't ride my wave if you had a fucking boat, man. No one better, turn you to a ghost, man. Get this fucking money, ain't no time for no romance.
No effort, everything I do lit. Posted up with models, popping bottles up at Ruth Chris. No effort, I be on the next wave. I can see through fakes, kinda like my vision X-ray. No effort, whipping up the quick cash. Shorty brought a friend and you know she got a thick ass. No effort, bitch, I do the utmost. Y'all committed suicide, the game is fucking cutthroat.
What is up, everybody? We are back with Viconi. Viconi, how are you doing?
I am fantastic, my brother. How are you?
Fantastic. I'm feeling likewise, man. I want to know, where did you start putting yourself like out there in terms of like professionally and what you do to this day from a business perspective?
From a business perspective,
this is like fight or flight right now.
I'd say that really kicked in 2 years ago. 2 years ago for sure. Yeah, because I like more so on the business side. That's when I was like, yeah, this fight or flight. I mean, musically, I think I'm just.
Was it fight or flight?
Yeah, honestly, it was, because I was working, various bullshit dead end jobs, and I was like, yeah, I don't really want to. I don't want to do this shit no more. And I went. Basically, what happened is I was working this one job, and then the job itself got shut down. It just ended. So they were like, all right, and they laid me off. And when they laid me off, they gave me like a dope ass severance package. And,
oh shit!
And with that, I invested that money into my like video gear and all of that. And then
no way.
Yeah, and then once I did that, the time was coming around where I was like starting to get back low on money a little while later when that money was running out. And I was just like, yo, honestly, I don't want to like go back to doing that shit. I just want to like work for myself and be my own boss and stuff like that. So and the reason I bought that stuff in the beginning, all the video stuff, is actually not just because I wanted to be a music video director. I always loved film and cinema and all of that growing up too, but like I just wanted to do my own videos actually, because it's so music videos are expensive, bro. Like especially from other people.
Are crazy expensive.
Yeah. So I did that, and I just bought my own stuff because I'm like, okay, I'm about to do this shit myself. But then the funny thing was, I was like, wait, who's supposed to film me with my own gear that doesn't have the same eye as me? So then I was like, fuck, I have all this stuff. And then I was like, okay, I guess I'll just start doing videos for people. So I did a bunch of free ones, and then I did a bunch of ones at really low rates. And then I just kept going further and further and further and further. And now I charge the rate I do. And
that's sick, dude.
Yeah,
so was that 2 years ago that you were saying where you started this shit, or was that before that?
So like I worked that job, and then I got in and out like 2 years ago probably. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's wild, bro.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Thank you, man. Yeah, it kind of was an accident,
Yeah. Wow, dude.
But I love it. Like, there's nothing that brings me, like, I think, it's just happy that I'm happy that I stumbled upon that. Just like I said, it was all just, in the beginning, I thought I was doing it just to, like, save money. And here it turned out that was, like, the smartest investment I ever made. And it's literally my favorite thing to do when I'm not making music. So that's why so sick. They go hand in hand, because I always told people if I ever, like, maybe with like filming and editing, like that's cool too, but like just that aspect of it, because like I always told people if I never got into making music, I probably would have wanted to be an actor, because I just like both of those kind of aspects. I think they're both cool.
That's crazy, man. So as it stands, essentially you're in your craft right now.
Yes, man. I'm in my motherfucking craft, and I'm happy right now.
And you're happy. And I hear you're fucking busy as fuck, dude.
I am busy as fuck right now.
How does that feel though? Because you're doing what you love, you're crowded with work, but you also want to focus on your own tunage. So how does that feel being like involved in like I know the two worlds overlap, but there's got to be some takeaway when you focus on one or the other, right?
So I got like plans in the works for that, like low key. Like I've been like,
you got a schedule.
Yeah, like I've been doing some investment stuff. Like I'm getting involved
investments.
in.
Okay, let's talk.
I'm involved in like some real estate work right now that I'm getting into, and
okay, so you're hustling outside of music.
Yeah. So I'm trying to do a bunch of different right now. You know what I mean? So like I'm investing in like the real estate game and stuff like that. So I'm trying to have like that like money on the side, aside from like money from doing video shit. And then the ultimate goal is that I can, you know, build up what I'm doing so much that I can eventually like hire employees and like have like a straight up like whole thing going on, and then I can kick my feet up like a fucking, you know, boss man does, and like just like work on my music. You know what I mean?
Like an executive, bro.
Yeah.
So where does this inspiration to invest into real estate come from? Is it hip hop related, or is this just like money moves?
I'm not gonna lie. I read a lot. I read a lot of books about like just like, you know, how to be like your best self and stuff like that. And I also listen to like podcasts sometimes and somewhat. So I'd say that my two biggest inspirations for like wanting to do more with money than just like get it and spend it, and like start like investing and like actually focusing on like a broader scale of like what I could do would be 50 Cent, honestly, and Jocko Willink. Those two guys are crazy. I don't know. You know who Jocko Willink is?
Off the top, I cannot say. Should I?
Yeah, man. So he's like this dude. He's like a retired SEAL Team 6 leader. Like this guy's hard as fuck. This guy's hardcore.
Jocko Willink?
Yeah, and he has a podcast, and he's like he's been through the shit. Like, you know the movie like American Sniper?
Yeah, with Bradley Cooper.
Yeah, that guy in real life. This guy, Jocko Willink, was that dude's commander.
No shit.
Yeah, he was his commanding officer, and I'm like,
that's fucking.
And this
hilarious.
guy just has a podcast, and he just talks about like life advice and shit, and like what you could be doing and stuff.
So how often are you keyed into this podcast?
All the time now, because I'm just like, the first few I was just like, oh, he like says some real ass shit, and then I just kept listening to him, and then he just talked a lot about like investing in real estate and stuff, and I'm like, yo, like that's actually smart. I don't know why I haven't done that. And then 50 Cent is a business mogul. That's like what he's known for, aside from his music. This guy's got he's got a lot of irons and a lot of different fires. Like this guy has like vitamin water, like probably like 3 different brands of alcohols. He's got his own brand of headphones. He's got, you know what I mean? Like this guy's a straight up entrepreneur. So I want to be one of those guys eventually.
Straight. Okay. So Viconi is a brand. You don't want to be identified as anything in particular. You would rather branch out into a little bit of everything.
It's tough, man. No, because at the end of the day, like, I still want to be like, at the end of the day, I still want to have like, I want to be on like the Mount Rushmore of hip hop artists as well. Whether that's going to happen whether that's going to happen or not, I'm just saying. But
that's always going to be the goal.
Yeah, still, that's like, of course, that's for sure. Like, that's what's up.
So I guess in that regard, my main question is because a lot of people hold that as like the main focus, whereas you kind of like are not necessarily focused on, but your brand is diversifying and making sure you have multiple facets, whereas a lot of people are like, all right, I got this one goal and that's going to be my shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think for a lot of people, if you really like, and I mean, I'm guilty of it too. Obviously, there's days where I know for a fact I could have worked harder than I should have, and I feel like everybody gets like that. But at the end of the day, if you say, everybody says like, yeah, I just want to be my own boss and stuff like that, like, and that's all good. But if you really believe it, you got to realize that you actually have to work twice as hard than you work at like a normal job if you actually want to be your own boss, because you don't have like a schedule to follow, or like you don't have like someone telling you what to do, so you need like a lot more self-discipline.
I think that's brilliant, and I think that's another. I think we should segue into a different like kind of conversation here right now. Is that what does it take to not only start as your own boss, but to acknowledge what it takes to be your own boss?
Overcoming the fear of not knowing what's about to happen and just diving into it
Head first.
You just put yourself out there, like when I wasn't really sure like what was about to go down in any circumstance. I just realized it's like the best example I can put is like when I was going to do my first show, and when I was on stage, I always dreamed of myself being on a stage as like a kid. And then when I went on a stage, bro, before it happened, I almost backed out because I was just like, yo, this is so fucking gut wrenching. Like this is like, yeah, it's like so intense. Like you got so many people watching you, but then you get up there and that all goes away. Like it's the build up that scares people, but once you actually once you hashtag Shia LaBeouf just do it, like shit gets crazy. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Where, bro?
You know?
What got you into your first show? How long were you a rapper before your first show, and then who signed you up for your first show?
The first show, my first, technically the first time I was on stage, it wasn't actually my show. I was a feature artist, but it's so funny. Me and my homies, like we're all on a lot of each other's tracks. So,
for sure.
So half the time, whenever there is a show in general, we all just keep coming on and off stage, because whenever we have separate sets, we're all in each other's songs. So we just keep like rotating on and off stage. It's hilarious. But like that was the first time. Yeah, it was Double V. He had a track, and he had a set or whatever, and I was on one of his tracks, so I hopped up on stage and we just turned up. And I remember I was nervous when they went to hand me the microphone. Like my hand was like, you could probably find it on a video or something. Like my hand like didn't stop moving when I went to reach for the microphone.
Yo.
I was like shaking. It was hilarious.
That's fucking sick.
But it was sick. And then I've done, I don't even know, man. Like I don't even know how many shows I've done now, but I've done a lot. And every time it's just so fun.
Is it fun to reminisce on that first time?
Yeah, because people always just like, it's just fun because every time like I talk to my homies about it, every time they're like, yeah, I remember seeing you and you were just like, you looked like you were just shaking. But then like when I actually went to go on, I remember I was nervous, and I didn't want to seem weird, and I didn't want to look like I was nervous. So as soon as I actually grabbed the microphone, I just remember I yelled as loud as I could. I was like, what the fuck is up? And everybody was just going nuts. So it was funny. So yeah.
That's fucking dope, bro.
Yeah, it was turned.
What was Double V related to like the scene in terms of having shows already, or was this like a beginning for both of you guys?
I think he did a few more before I did, but we were still both fairly new to the whole doing shows aspect of things.
What I heard from young Haas Kotu, was that you guys did Bohemia for your second show, his first show, and I forgot who he said set it up, but that was my first reference.
Who set it up was probably...
It was Aaron Productions.
Oh yeah, Aaron. Yeah. Aaron. Yeah, I remember. Yeah. Sit your ass down, Aaron.
Maybe we shouldn't talk too much about the links. We should get back into your current and future music, since we're running on time here. But what have you got in the works?
Okay, so right now I have a bunch of stuff on the way. A lot of projects, a lot of stuff. Basically right now though, the goal in the long term, and I'm gonna say this for anybody who asks, the goal in the long term obviously is to drop like albums, EPs, all of that. But when you're an artist coming out, I think the smartest move in general is just to drop a single with a music video every time until you get that recognition where your albums get the full attention they deserve. So I'm just gonna keep dropping music videos with singles. The next one coming up is called Dark Knight, and I got this crazy hook on it from this cat named Faro, and it's produced by Sky, and that track's gonna be nuts. And it's the video itself is gonna like emulate like a Batman movie, low key. It's gonna be crazy. Oh yeah, it's gonna be sick. Like there's gonna be like drone shots of me like skirting around the city in like a blacked out whip.
That's crazy. Let's talk about the difference between like a regular ass music video and something that actually takes like man, I'm asking you something that's impossible to talk about, to be honest, because it's something that takes like time and craft and character. But like, what do you think is the difference between putting out something and putting out something?
I think just being yourself, like quite literally. Like I think you need to make what like you envision in your brain. Like if you actually have an idea, you should find a way to make that possible and try to not take shortcuts if you can help it. Like I know that's really tough, but like I also have another video coming out where I don't want to like say too much about it yet, but basically it's gonna be like some shit where it's about this girl who's like depressed and she's about to like do some crazy shit to herself, and there's a dude in the video trying to tell her to stop, but then like at the end of the video it's got a big twist. I don't want to say too much, but it's just like it's nuts. And I think but like it's kind of like that whole Joyner Lucas style, you know what I mean, like where it's like, have you seen Joyner's videos?
Yeah.
Okay, so you know how it's like
I'm vibing with this conversation, man. I love
you know how there's like a character like there's like a character speaking, but it's Joyner's voice.
Yeah,
it's like Joyner's voice, but it's like it's just like an actor and it's rapping, but it's his voice still. I'm doing some shit like that too, and I think the thing that makes or breaks a video, like I did a video called Work with Double V. That video is a complete that track's a banger, and that video is hard, but like I wouldn't say that there was anything super like different about it, but that's why as of like this next coming video and every video after that, I'm taking complete creative control, because I don't want to just put videos out just to have videos out anymore. I want to make like movies, and I want to make people think twice whenever they watch something.
Yes,
so
dude.
I don't know. I think that's the best way, honestly, is just to be yourself. Literally, like whenever you write a song, what do you imagine in your actual fucking head when you write that song? Because I know for a fact it's not just every time it's just you with like a Lambo and then like some like, you know,
you and Flash Gang are on some fucking shit, man, because that is
Flash Gang.
That's fucking word, bro.
Thank you, man. Yeah, shout out Flash Gang for sure. That's the man them right there. That's the homies. That's the circle.
Yo, Viconi, I appreciate you for this time, man. We're running into overtime right now, but is there anything you want to say for the sign off to anybody who might be listening right now?
Yeah, I just want to say thanks to everybody who keeps up with what I'm doing, and shout out everybody who is out there grinding, trying to get what's rightfully theirs, and keep creating. Don't let this COVID shit get you down. Go make some money. And
that's the word, bro.
Yeah. Also, real quick, I want to shout out Cadence. That's Kadns. They're a clothing company in Edmonton. They're killing shit right now, and they've helped me out a lot. And also, shout out Irish Sounds Like This. Her name's Katie, and she's Irish, and she's huge on TikTok. And we also have Flash Gang is going to be doing an in-person interview with her when this COVID shit's over.
That's word, bro.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining me today, man. I really appreciate you taking this time and giving us all the insider information.
Thank you, man. Yeah, no, thanks for having me.
Of course, brother. You take care, eh?
All right.
All right, peace.
Peace.
Thank you everyone for tuning in. That was Viconi. If you want to learn a little bit more about him, head on down to www.reevolvemedia.com/Viconi. That's a Viconi. And up next, we've got a track titled Work by Viconi featuring Double V. I hope you enjoy and take care until the next episode. Easy. Easy. Easy.